episode 2 of Keeping House Alive. Thank you, everybody at home and live, tuning in. If you tuned in last week, thank you for coming back. Before I start, I need to say thank you to Miami Community Radio for the opportunity and picking me. Yay! Super excited. And also dear Eleanor for lending us this space so we can make this happen. Last week, I am PATI. I am your host for today. And I'm gonna do my best to give you a very interesting show. Last week, we started from the very, very beginning of house music. And what is the very beginning of house music? Disco. So I gave you a little bit of context of how disco started, how disco came to the United States, how it became a culture, how everybody started dancing in little clubs, discotheques, and whatever they were playing was really dance music, became disco music. Disco music was mainly acquired by the minorities, which were blacks, Latinos, and the queer community. But then it had a peak in around 1977 with the opening of Studio 54 and also the release of Saturday Night Fever. And it became this phenomenon in the world. It had a peak for about 2 years, and in 1979, somebody got mad and started saying disco sucks. There was an event in Chicago where they had a disco demolition night. It became a riot, and that was also named the night the disco died, started dying. And what happened when disco died? A lot of other genres and rhythms and music were born. One of those was house music. We had house music, we had freestyle, we had hip hop and rap, because house music is really composed and at the DNA of disco, soul, and funk. We had places like The Loft, which was mainly a house, with David Mancuso was playing dance music and disco music, and became something a sound that you only heard there. And then you had Frankie Knuckles and Levon playing this type of music. Frankie Knuckles was pulled to Chicago, to the warehouse, and Larry Levan went to Paradise Garage to play his Saturday services, because it was like a service, really. It was something that you went and you listened for hours. You kind of saw Sunday come. And what am I saying in all this? You're saying Larry, you're saying Frankie, you're saying David. All these guys were doing this. But today, I want to talk about women in house music. Before I start, I want to dedicate this episode to the youngest fan that I have, and she's a girl, and she's my niece, Vera Luna, who's listening in the Dominican Republic. And Tia Pati te manda un beso y Tia Pati te ama. Tia Pati va a hablar hoy de la música house y las mujeres que empezaron el género, para que tú cojas inspiración y un día, cuando quieras hacer lo que quieras hacer, también puedas tener un impacto positivo en la vida. Tia Pati te ama. Un aplauso a Vera Luna. So, there is no starting to talk about women in house music without talking about Martha Wash. And where did Martha Wash start? With disco. Martha Wash was at some point named the most famous unknown singer of the 90s. Why is that? Because you knew her voice from a lot of places, but you didn't know her face. And she was everywhere. Actually, this track, which is Mighty Real from Sylvester, very well known singer in the disco community back in the 70s, gave her the chance to do the vocals for a bunch of her songs. And she was there, and as I just said a minute ago, then kind of house went down. She was part of a duo that made vocals for other people and producers. She wasn't part of their group, but she was part of the vocals that, became part of it. House music has a lot of flavor, a lot of soul. You're gonna see that a lot of people come from like church background. There's a lot of feeling. I'm pretty sure you've heard that house is a feeling. You know what I'm saying? It's more than a rhythm. It's more than just getting up and dancing to something. It's just something that you feel. That's why it's so hard to completely explain house music. So what happened? When disco went away, she started getting into house music. And what happened when she started with house music? That was the late 80s. House music wasn't called still house music, it was dance music. And she started making vocals and tracks and demos for other people that were up and coming. There were these people that she made 6 demos, Martha Wash. I want you to remember this name because you're about to listen to her and you're gonna recognize it right on the spot. I mean, I'm pretty sure you recognize this track. But there were this group where she made 6 demos. And out of the demos, they were so good because this voice was so good. Songs, actually, a full album came up. Listen to this.
Got a match?
There we go.
It's a fabulous clothes.
You're gonna listen to her in a little bit. So there was a group I said.
Let's party a little bit.
I put this one here. That is her. Look at that voice. She also had this other. You remember that one? That's Snap. I'm sorry, Black Box. Black Box started producing these songs with her voice, which she was paid to do demos, but they ended up making the whole album with her voice. There was only one problem. They never gave her credit for this. And they became extremely famous for these songs. And if you look, and please go look at the cover of this Dreamland album, there is this skinny, tall lady that was lip singing to her songs. She didn't even know this was gonna happen. And then she listened, somebody told her, hey, I hear you on the radio. She wanted to listen to the song, saw the video, saw that she wasn't there. She was on the credits. So she wrote to them and said, like, listen, I don't wanna, sue you or anything, but can we talk about giving me credit for this because you said it was a demo, but now you made songs. And these songs were super, super big. And they said, no, plain and simple. Listen to this other one. Time passed, her voice became super well known. Same thing happened with another group that you might probably have heard of. And let me see if it's here. There we go. And same thing happened to CNC Music Factory. when they did that, they put another person in the cover. They didn't give her any credit. She went and asked them why, and you know what was the main reason? Nobody wanted to really admit it. The main reason was is because she was a heavy set, and she didn't look like what they wanted to look. So they preferred to have somebody lip sync to this song. Even though they didn't have the talent, they actually tried when she started fighting for her rights, and they tried with these people that were actually lip singing to let them sing over, and it's a disaster. You should actually also look it up to hear the voice of these models, because they were models trying to sing to whatever she was singing. It's good they were already recorded that one. Thanks to Martha Wash, there was a legislation in the early 90s that made the record labels put on videos and CD covers credit to the person who sang, and also if somebody else was performing it, to actually put it in there that somebody else was performing it. Why? Because that's not fair. So thanks to Martha Wash, not only do we have the sound of house music, but we have fair collaboration in between artists. Because before, let me tell you something. Today I'm a DJ. I'm gonna soon be a producer. But today we play a lot of music. These women recorded and they were performing. They were touring, performing these songs. Nobody was playing it like the way I'm playing it here. I'm not trying to downplay my own self, but what I'm saying is that when this genre was getting like well known, they were actually performing the songs. So they had to sing, and they left there on the stage their heart and soul singing for us. And that is something that we have to all recognize. Martha Wash was also part of a duo called the Weather Girls, who had records like It's Raining Men, Big Girls Don't Cry, Lady Marmalade, and We Are Family. That's them. So, yes, baby. So, it is very important that we give Martha Wash a space and recognition, even today she's alive, of how this started, the records, the music that shaped that era of music. Because she did a lot. Not only that, look at that voice. Listen to that voice. So, after Martha, where do we go? I think we're going to go to... Can you recognize this? Crystal Waters, ladies and gentlemen. This is a voice and a track that we can all recognize. Crystal Waters was a vocalist at a studio, and Crystal Waters was a fan of these boys called Basement Boys. They had their studios at a basement, and they were producing really, really good tracks back in the 80s and 90s. She tracked them down in a conference, gave them a demo. They called her back. They asked them to collaborate on something, and they gave her beats. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because this song became a hit because of this. Which is something that we all recognize today and we all sing to. What happens with that? It became catchy. It became something that we all wanted to sing. And the story behind it, which is a real story, got lost. And this is the story. When she was given the beats to put lyrics on top of it, she didn't know what to do. She only had in her head, Just turns out she used to live in DC, that her sister worked somewhere downtown. And she would go visit her, and on the way to her sister's job, she would see this woman all dressed up asking for money. And she would be like judging, like, why is this woman all dressed up, hair did, nails done, asking for money. Go get a job, girl. And she saw her for a couple of weeks. Then on the local news, one day she was watching TV and she saw the woman. What happened to that woman? This is a unique story. She was working, I believe, as a teacher, and she got laid off. Got to the point where she lost everything and she became homeless. And she thought to herself, I have nothing to give, but if I'm gonna go and ask people for money, I'm gonna look presentable, I'm gonna look good, because if I'm taking your money, at least I wanna look like somebody that you wanna help. And she got ready every morning. She did her hair, she put her makeup, never had a makeup. And she went and asked for money, and she sang la da dee da 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 dee da da da. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, it's a true story. Um, so that became a super hit. But my favorite one is this one. Let me see if I can play it for you now. And this became even bigger than la da dee da 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 dee da da. Let me see if you can hear it. I used to dance to this song like there was no tomorrow. 100% pure love. This was a shit when I was growing up. Listen to the rhythm and the voice. That's Crystal Waters. And this song became a #1 for 45 weeks out of the 52 weeks of the year. So yeah, she has Gypsy Woman, but please do not forget about 100% pure love. Listen to it for a little bit because I remember dancing like this. Put a cigarette in my hand. Thinking I was looking so hot. But we have somebody else. We have somebody named Cecilia Pennington, better known as Cici Pennington. Do you guys remember Finally? Finally made it to the radio. She's a vocalist. She was a vocalist. She was a soul singer. She was really a poet. So she wrote Finally when she was in high school and looking in the future how life in college would be if she had a boyfriend. But it was a poem, so she never really did anything with it. When she started singing and she started getting discovered, and she was being a vocalist for somebody else, a producer came up to her and asked her, "Do you have anything else?" And she said, "I actually do." And there was Finally. So the way that she described Finally is it was a poem that became a song that became a hit. And she was in high school when she wrote it, if I'm not mistaken. And this hit became a hit when she was about 21, 22 years old. So some time passed, but Finally made it. My favorite one from Cici Pennington. Let me see if I can get it here. Is this one. Let's see if you remember this one. We got a love thing. Look what we got. Look what we got. That was her second single. So that's Cece Penny's song, and she's still active, by the way. But she was performing a lot. They overdid her. Um, but there she was. She was doing her thing. Um, I want to talk about this lady. Because this lady, I had no clue, but I knew her. We all did. And she was part of this group called Snap. So you guys remember Snap? And she had tracks like this. She wrote and co-wrote the whole album of Snap. It was called The Madman's Return. Do you remember this track? Because if you are as young as I am, you also dance to this track. We need to listen to it a little bit. This is Thea Austin. And you might not know her because she was part of this group. But this voice. This is a German Eurodance group that made it big in the 90s. And as Gypsy Woman, this has a similar story. She was at the verge of having nothing at all. And Snap already had a vocalist that was dropped, and they were on a mission to look for another one. This is where she came to the picture. And they were in Germany, and this girl is American. They wanted an American singer, and she said, I'm gonna ask God for guidance, for hope, because if I make it with these people, and if I make it with these songs, I'll be able to pay my bills, I'll be able to make it in life, because she had no money even to eat. So she put all her soul, and she would pray, and she wanted people to actually listen to the song, because it was catchy and like la da dee da da da. People just were like into the beats, but not into the lyrics. Give me just 1 second. I'm gonna read it to you because she would want me to read it. Rhythm is a dancer. It's a soul companion. People feel it everywhere. Lift your hands and voices. Free your mind and joyness. You can feel it in the air. It's a passion. You can feel it in the air. So she felt like she was touched by God. She was a soulful singer. And guess what? They made it. And I believe that when you do things with love and with passion, and you believe in whatever it is that you put in your effort and your energy and your all, you're going to succeed. And success looks very different from everybody. It could be that you become famous. And it also becomes that you become somebody's savior. You know, just do something. Look at me doing it. I love this. I don't know how I'm doing it. I don't know how I'm doing it. But I freaking love sharing this with people because I'm a little nerd when it comes to music. And I said to myself, what am I going to do with all this information that I'm learning? I need to share it. And some of you reached out to me last week and I said, I learned something. That's it. That's my success. So that's all I have for this week in Women in House. But we're just getting started, baby. I gave you a lot of information, so now I'm gonna give you a little bit of music. This girl we met through music at another local radio station, Jolt Radio, and she was playing before me, like 2 people before me. And I was just there. I sat down and I listened to her, and she was playing a lot of disco and some deep house. But everything she was playing, I I felt. And I sat down to listen to her, to dance music. I sat down and I said, damn, she's good. I could play with her. And guess what? Today, she's honoring me with her presence. And she's here to talk a little bit about her journey. We're going to talk about house music. And we're going to play some music. I want the three people are here to clap your hands for my first female guest, Astani, aka the Vinyl Cutie. Thank you for joining me on this, I don't know, adventure, I think?
Venture, I mean, how long have I known you? Too long.
Too long and too short and time becomes elastic.
It does, but like, you are the type of person that brings me back, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is where it's at. This is where music's at. This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing in Miami.
Thank you.
This is how we cultivate a system. And we're both women.
Yeah.
Who are moving in a force.
Yeah.
That is not being done here in Miami. So I appreciate you.
I appreciate you because I've gotten to know you and I've gotten to see how you make it your point to support women DJs. And that is a huge part because of the music industry, whether you're a boy or a girl and you're supporting anyone, but girls specifically, because basically as DJs, we're getting noticed a lot lately, right?
Yes, and you're saying it's more like feminine presenting. So if you have a feminine aura, and you're giving this feminine energy, we want that. And there's none of that in Miami right now, in my opinion. I feel like women, especially like Donna, I grew up listening to disco, like Donna Summer and Sylvester, as you played before, and that's all I know. And I would wake up in the morning and I would shake my ass to this shit, and like, it was all I knew.
Awesome. And disco, and I think I'm going to talk about disco in every single
Please
episode.
do, because we could do disco every single episode, every single time.
And disco is more like not only like a culture and a rhythm and something to dance to, but it has so much history. And we grew up with this and like waking up in the morning and putting a disco record and having people like Cheek and Sylvester and the Bee Gees and ABBA. And
Yeah, and see, the funny thing is that my mom would play this stuff on Saturday.
yeah?
She'd wake us up and be like, it's time to clean.
Yes! So
It's time to clean, it's time to wake up, it's time to move. So like, I grew up waking up every Saturday after getting after school and studying to shake my ass and do a little do it with you can. And with the broom, with the do it you can. And the broom, do it.
you
with the
should
broom.
be dancing. Yeah.
And that's
Dancing. Yeah. Sorry.
and that's like all I knew. And the first time that I saw you, and the first time you saw my set, one of my really good friends, DJ Florida Boy, he gave me a bunch of 45s.
Yeah.
And I picked through. I was like, oh, I know this song, I know this song, I know this song. And then you guys came in the back and you started dancing.
Yes.
And I was singing. I was like, once I was afraid, I was petrified. And you guys were dancing in the back. And usually
How could
I
we
don't.
not?
And usually I don't get that vibe when I'm playing in the back. So that just made me feel like a whole different way, because the same music that you know, PATI,
Yeah.
is the same music that I know. And that way, that whole set really, really connected to you, because I was playing songs that were deep in your soul. And I play music to shake people's asses. And I
Great.
also play music to get down in your soul, because
you go.
music, like, I grew up listening to music. It's a spiritual therapy for me.
Absolutely.
So it's not just like, oh, I'm putting this on to like dance and shake my ass. I'm putting this on to feel. because all of these artists, they produced and they created songs and content that would move with the world and move with how the world works and move with what's
Absolutely.
going on with the world.
Absolutely.
And you understand that as well. So that's why when you came and saw my set and was really like feeling it, I was like, she understands how I feel and my passion for music.
Absolutely.
And listen, PATI only plays on CDJs and I play on vinyl. But she's the first person whose set I saw when I was like, oh my God, this is the time where we can finally conjoin and
Yes.
make it something that it's not all about this and that, and it's about forming music to create content to make
Absolutely.
everybody live and feel better about themselves, correct?
Absolutely. And that's why I wanted to say before, the house is a feeling. And then there was a culture of dancing, which includes soul and disco and house and freestyle and funk and all of this, because you cannot really explain it. It doesn't have this one thing. And
No way.
No. And to me, I can say that music has saved me one too many times. It is the best therapy I can ever have. So when I hear
Yes.
people talk like you about music and express the love of just listening to something and feeling it in your soul and understanding the lyrics and understanding where they came from and probably relating it to something that happened to you, that to me is beautiful. And there's something that I keep telling people, be careful what you sing.
Yes, not even that. Be careful what you play because it follows you.
Absolutely.
So whatever your craft is, that is what you have to stand behind. Whatever you bring to your music and your form and whatever, that's what you have to build with on.
Yep.
And as you said, with Music With Me, it's very spiritual. Like, there's been many times where I've been down and out and depressed after a breakup or a friendship breakup or or a hurricane. Hurricane just came and passed. And you have to realize that music is really the soul that just moves you forward and takes you to the point where you can realize that it's not that deep, you know?
And even if it is, it's okay.
It's okay. And feel and then move on, because music makes us feel
Something.
something. Your music makes me feel.
Yeah, your music makes me feel. That's why you're here. That's why you're here. So, how? What made you start playing music?
Okay, if we're gonna get real, so
Yes.
when I was 9, I threw a birthday party and nobody came. So the year after, for my 10th birthday party, my mom was like, okay, so if you're not gonna have a birthday party, let's go see the Jonas Brothers. So I saw the Jonas Brothers and Miley Cyrus, and then that shifted me off. And then when I went to college in Orlando, I went to EDC for the first time, and I saw the legend Green Velvet, who is now Kashmir. Absolutely disgusting. He built the atmosphere for tech music that is what we are right now. The first party that I saw was called La La Land. Absolutely delicious. He played funky, techno. Like, what my problem is when it comes to house music, you can venture out into any ways and forms or whatever. It's not, people think that it's only one source and one thing that you're doing. But as long as you're bringing elements back to what comes down to what actual house music is, like Detroit house music and like Chicago house music,
Yep.
like, because black people create house music.
Yep.
He understands the path where it goes through, so it will always work. As long as you respect the brand and you respect the craft, your style will always work. And that's why PATI is one of my favorite DJs, because she respects the brand and let's do it. And she does her research, and honestly here, she's my favorite DJ because she knows her craft and she knows what she's doing. And she's probably one of the only people here that I feel like actually respects the craft and understands and looks after the music and researches the music and respects the music. And that's why I was so shocked that she really respected my set, because that was the first set I played all 45s. She saw. I was playing
It was amazing.
I was playing Tears for Fears.
Yeah.
I was playing Something the Night to Carry Away from You. Like all the 80s and the 70s bops. And she sat there and she was like, I get where you're coming from because this is what I grew up on and that's what I loved.
Listen, and I also respect people because it's so interesting. I do it because it's so interesting. Like I said, I'm a little bit of a nerd, like doing this, but it's because it's so rich. And you should,
Cunty.
and you should be coming back because you speak so highly about me. I love it.
Oh my God, no, I love her. I was really surprised when she wanted me to come on here because I'm like, she was like, oh my God, you're so good. I'm like, girl, I literally like, just absolutely amazing, really crafted and just delicious. And I don't play on CDJs
And I don't play vinyl. So today you're gonna see another hybrid set in the sense of vinyl and me. Girl, you do you. I will follow. I will jump in. You are my guest, and I want you to.
Oh wait, hold on. I hope everybody know that everything I picked out right now is because I thought that PATI would like it. I want you to know this is a PATI curated set. The songs that are coming on right now that I'm playing on vinyl is super PATI curated. So I don't want you to think that I'm doing some kind of like, this is all for her. I was going to play Dead Mouse, okay? And then I was like, that's not it, because I want to play
Girl, you
Slay.
play whatever you want. This is it. This is why we have a space like this. I mean, I know I have a style because when I play, I like a lot of music, but when I play, I do have a style, as almost everyone.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me say. Okay, so I went to go see Adam 10
Ay, Dios mío.
at Coachella.
Dios mío.
And then she played a bunch of Adam 10 at the first time that I sent, and I sent it to him, and he loved it. So Adam 10, this is for you. DJ Koze, this is for you. Kind of music, this is for you. We're playing Deep
Oh my
House
God, I'm
today,
excited.
baby.
Do it. So the part of information has officially ended, and from now on we're gonna have a little party.
Slave Party on vinyl. Vinyl Cutie. This is the song they're playing.
Before she starts playing, make sure that you follow her, the Vinyl Cutie, and see what she's up to here in Miami or wherever she goes. And thank you again for everybody. Thank you for giving us some support and like just letting us like have fun. And from now on, let's dance.
Thank you so much, Patty. I love you so much. You're so slay.
I love you, girl. This is delicious, by the way. Beautiful. She knows what she was doing.
Love is the key to existence. Love is the key
Sounds a little more. I'm gonna jump
to
in.
existence.
Hell yeah.
Just peace. The key to existence.
Vamos arriba. Vamos a subirlo. Un poquito de deep house. That's what you do when you play back to back. You throw things at people.
Hell yeah.
There we are. There we are. Yeah. I know that we're almost leaving. If it wasn't because of us, we'll stay here all night.
No, for sure.
We're not leaving yet, but I'm just saying.
Oh my God, Patty's so good. Can we just take a moment?
We'll take 2 moments. We're not done yet, but yeah, thank you. People on the internet, listen to me. Never forget that house is a feeling. Feel all your feelings. Dance. Let yourself go. Enjoy life. Hug your friends. Tell them you love them. Make it weird. La vida es un ratito. Hey. There's no set without me showing that I'm Dominican. Next Monday we'll be back at 6-ish Miami time. Same place. Thank you everyone for showing up today. Showing us some love. See us enjoy what we do. I hope I share something meaningful with you today. Thank you to all the women in house music that paved the path for girls like her and I to be here and play music in an industry full of men. Love you guys.
No, love the men,
Love
but
the
more
men.
women.
Yeah.
We need more women.
A little room in your little heart.
We're gonna ooze our way in.
And
We're gonna ooze our way in. My friend Natalie just opened up a record shop, Connect Record Store. Women
for
owned,
Natalie. Go
LGBT
for Natalie.
owned in Strive Art District in Fort Lauderdale. We're gonna be opening this Saturday, so come out and see. And I'm gonna teach Patty how to play on vinyl, so slay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Patty.
Thank you so much. You for
You made me so nervous because you're like so much cooler than me. I'm not gonna lie. Like I was like frightened back here. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, the baddest bitch is here. There's no way I could do better than the baddest bitch. There's no fucking way. The fuck? Come on. You're so slay. Please.
Thank you again. I love this set. People, have a good night. See you here next Monday. I love you all. Thank you, dear Eleanor. Thank you, Miami Community Radio. And next week, I have a special guest, so stay tuned when you see that. Keep on dancing, Miami. Keep on dancing. Peace and one love.
One love.
All right, everybody. So that was it for today. Thank you again, Miami Community Radio. Thank you for all the beautiful people here supporting us. It was a blast. I love that we finished with this song because this track is fire.
Listen, I love Adam Port.
Yes.
I love kind of music. I love deep house. Thank you so much, Slay. And thank you so much for PATI for being the baddest bitch alive.
Have a good night.